Episode 2, Hot Rod Bob with the 71 Cutlass Resto Mod. Today, wheels and tires. Let's go. In case you missed it, in episode 1, we made a trip out to the farmland and found the 71 Olds. I'd been stored basically in a barn and heated in the winter, has not seen rain or snow for 22 years. We heard a little bit about the story of the car from the previous owners, drove it home, and of course it rained on it. From there, I started working on it, including cleaning off tons of layers of paint from the inner fenders and some of it off under the hood, as well as putting in new door hinge bushings and realigning the door and the fender. I also put in a brand new battery and alternator. It was a 140 amp Powermaster alternator. Converted the car from an external regulator to an internal regulator. Basically what that means is instead of there being a separate box on the firewall that controls the voltage output of the alternator does it itself. I thought everything was good with that, but it wasn't, because the car died after I released this video.
Man, that's beautiful, man. We got fun.
The wheels are in. Let's open them up. I'll show you what I got. All right, these are Vision wheel, right? Vision wheel, got them from Summit Racing Equipment. They're actually quite affordable. These ready? There we go. These are 18-inch diameter by 9.5-inch wide. I think they're gonna look really nice. Now I need to get tires on them and put them on the car. What I'm going to do, 18, 9.5, 5.75 inch offset. I'm going to go through here in the video, if I already haven't, show you why I chose this offset. But what I'm going to do is I have two 75/40 18s. Hold on a second. So I've got four 275/40 18s. These two are pretty worn. They're Sumitomos, HTRZ2s. The other ones are Goodyear Eagle F1s that are in actually pretty good shape. So I'm going to put two 275s on the car, two rims, see if they fit on the front of the car. I think they will. Assuming if they do fit on the front, then I'll mount two more. Now, if they don't fit on the front and I need narrower, that gives me an opportunity to go buy two more tires. I'll probably go with 255/45 18, which would be right around the same diameter. And then, that'll give me a little more clearance. But otherwise, I'll probably go with 275/40s all the way around. Because basically, once they say you mount a tire to a wheel, then the wheel's not returnable. So I'm going to check and see on the fit on the wheels and tires first. First, I want to check fitment here with no tire, because if it doesn't fit with a bare rim, it ain't going to certainly fit with a tire. I don't think there should be any issue. No. Now, if you guys have followed me with my sartorial stuff and know me at all, know my style, I try to be DOH, D for direct, O for open, H for honest. I'm not claiming to know everything here. I am getting reacquainted with this car world after 19.5 years. And here's an example. Thin wall socket. The bore on these rims is so small, it barely is really bigger than a standard, like a Craftsman 12-point socket. Later, I wound up actually getting a special socket for this purpose, which I didn't realize existed, but the fit is so tight, even just the wheel not being exactly centered over the studs, like when the rim hangs on the studs, you can't get a socket around it. So be ready for that. Go get the special thinned down socket ahead of time, it'll help avoid a headache. And then also you kind of have to hold the rim up with your legs until you get a couple of the studs started. All right, so here's a problem already. I think I just bought these wheels. I can't even get a lug nut in without scraping it. See, everything's always easier on TV, isn't it? It is tight, really tight right here. If you limit the steering though, I'm less than a finger width away between the upper control arm, although I do have tubular arms. I can feel back here, It's just a brake hose. It does clear with about, you know, an inch clearance, but right there, it's, like I said, I can almost squeeze my pink in, but not quite, but I think it does clear. I'll try and get a better shot. I don't know how that guy did this. I guess you'd have to limit the steering. When you do have a quick ratio gearbox, a G-body quick ratio gearbox, it does give you less steering both ways. And I think that's the key. But I think it's gonna work. Look at the stance and the wheels and tires here. With the stock 14, I think they're 6-inch wide wheels, 14x6 or 14x7, 205 75 14s. Go fit a couple tires. Going right there to Goodyear. Sorry about the attire, guys, especially if you're from my sartorial, you know, a fan of my sartorial videos, but it is like 90 degrees out or something like that, or high 80s with humidity. Anyway, going to a different Goodyear store. The reason is because the manager there, Dustin, said that these rims being 9.5-inch wide, their machines don't handle the half-inch widths very well, and he's afraid he may scratch the rims. He said the Cuyahoga Falls store, though, does handle them well, so he's forwarding my information to them, and we're headed over to Cuyahoga Falls. That's only about 10 minutes away. Apparently the Cuyahoga Falls store here is the place to get this kind of stuff done. They have a special tire mounting machine. He says no human hands will touch the rim on this specialty machine. I'd love to see that, but going to store number 3, about 6 minutes away from where I was. Basically, Jamie, the store manager there, seems like a great guy. He said 3 different techs tried to mount it, but he said apparently just the way this rim is, that they couldn't get the tire over the bead of the rim, and what they would have to do is called reverse mount it, I guess, which is to flip the rim, you know, do it from the back side, right? Put the outside face down on the machine and then mount it from the back. But he says if he does that, he knows it'll scratch up the face of the rim. So, you know, he recommended this place. So, you know, these aren't the biggest rims in the world. I mean, they're only 18-inch, but I don't know. So number 3, here we go. This is on State Road. This is down by Gojo, if you guys are from the area. Here it is, Gearheads, and I see in the lobby there, this is a really good sign. I see a 57 Chevy, I think it is. No, it's not a 57 Chevy, something like that. But anyway, I see a Cobra, whether it's a Cobra replica, and I see a Mustang. Looks like a Mach 1, Shelby Mustang, something like that. This is a good sign. All right, this is Nick. We are at inside Gearheads. Nick's the owner of Gearheads Automotive.
Thanks, Bob.
Yes, and how long have you been in business?
Bob, we've been in business for over 15 years, just almost 3 years in this new location.
Awesome.
Which is twice as big as our old location.
Right, okay. So what do you guys do on a daily basis?
Well, Bob, I mean, we work on cars. Most of what we do on a daily basis is everyday cars. That's 60% of our business, but 40% of it are classic and specialty cars. It's a lost art.
Okay.
And you have to have some special skills. You have to have some personal drive and desire to deal with some of these older cars and their special needs.
Right. Like I just noticed, just happened to be right behind us here. It looks like a freshly painted set of wheels here, some really beautiful rims.
Yeah, we got this set of wheels. Our customer had them painted at Falls Auto Body. And these are the kind of wheels you can't just install with a regular machine. This is fresh paint. You'll destroy the paint. With a regular machine, it's at 99% of the tire shops out there.
Right. Now, speaking of which, and 30 years ago I worked in the tire business. Can you explain with this rim why the two other big name stores weren't able to mount these tires on these rims?
Well, one reason, the other stores are using old-fashioned technology tire machines that literally grab the wheel with metal claws.
Okay.
And because
That's
this
what I remember.
wheel...
They grab them from the
Yes,
inside.
and because this wheel has to be installed from the back of the wheel, they would have to grab the front with metal claws, and that would damage all the clear coat and whatever finish was on the front of the wheel.
And why does a tire have to be mounted from the back instead of from the front?
Well, it's an aftermarket wheel with a custom offset to make it look deeper.
Yep.
So it just needs the tire put on a different direction.
Because of this drop, right, is close to the back of the rim. Yes. The drop is so far from the front, you have to mount the tire from the back.
Correct.
So how are we going to grab this rim without scratching it?
Well,
then comes this machine.
When we moved into this building, we finally had space for tire equipment. And I know I wanted equipment that could deal with everything from the classic car tires all the way up to the carbon fiber Ferrari wheels and things like that. And that's what this machine was designed by Hunter to do.
Okay. Okay, it's a beautiful machine.
So this machine, we can mount the wheel just as it's mounted on your car. We're not grabbing the rim from any weird location. We're not grabbing it from the bead. We're attaching the wheel to the car just as it's mounted on the car.
I see that. So we're going with obviously the pretty side down. Boom, and there you can see, obviously there's going to be some kind of studs or something to hold on.
Nothing touching the outside of the wheel, nothing damaging your finish on the front.
Uh-huh. Okay. Uh-huh.
Now the wheel's securely mounted in the machine.
That, hold that down, the cone down. Wow, look at this. This is cool. Holy crap. Okay. So you don't have to screw anything into those studs. No. Okay, they just pull down onto the cones. That makes sense. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's crazy. And this is Troy. Troy, you guys have known each other. You've been here 3 years, but you've known each other for like 15 years, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And this is what you specialize in, is all the... So it's touching to find the edge of the rim. Is that what it's doing?
That is correct.
Just tapping it, right? So now it knows where the edge is, huh?
Normally a TPS sensor would be here.
Uh-huh.
And so this car does not take a TPMS sensor, but we have to set the depth.
TPMS is tire pressure
Tire
sensor.
pressure monitor.
Okay.
Yeah. We have to set the depth so it knows where to put all the other arms and articulate the machine.
Wow. That's crazy. Now these are directional tires. I heard you guys saying off camera, you got to mount one way, one the other way, right? Because
correct.
There's somewhere on here, there's an arrow that
There's
shows
an arrow
that
right here.
Okay, it shows which way
So
the tire turns.
That needs to be pointing forward.
Okay.
So the first thing we do is we soak the rim for ease of installation.
Looks like some kind of soap or something, huh?
It's a very special blend of whatever Hunter makes, but it actually makes the tire seal on the rim.
Oh wow, nice. Wow. Dang. And it looks like this part here is Teflon coated or something, right?
Yes.
All the tool tips are
Yes,
coated.
they're all nylon Teflon coated parts.
Wow, look at that.
Do not damage.
Still didn't look easy.
Still a workhouse.
That's pretty amazing. All right, now it's gonna Bang, bang, right?
Yeah, it's going to squirt that tire juice this way. So.
Back in the tire shop, again, early 90s, before OSHA cared, we used to stick like valve stem beads like right on the bing and shoot them across the shop, the little rubber ends off of the old valve stems. You sit them on the bead and when it would pop, it'd shoot them across the shop. That's it, huh? Wow. Beautiful. Man. Wow, look at that
with
thing.
absolutely no damage to the wheel.
Look at that. Awesome. Never touched anything down there. That's amazing. That's amazing. It's awesome. Really? That's a date code?
41 of 03.
No kidding. Oh, wow. So
That's why
tire
they're
date
so
code.
hard.
Is that all Goodyear tires or is that all tires? Or is
That's
that just
all
Goodyear?
tires have a date code.
Wow. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. And number 2 going on. We just got to check the direction, right? This one is made to rotate.
That's the left.
That's a left? Okay. Because of the counterclockwise. So this one's going to go on clockwise, right? So whichever way that one's going, make that one reverse because that's the back side of the rim with this machine.
I mean, we had tried a small dump truck tires, but it's really not made for that. It's made
Right.
for
Anything
it's made
automotive.
for passenger car.
Anything I should say passenger car, light truck. It's fine, right? And it takes 2 of you to get that on, huh?
Yeah, it's because the tire is older and very stiff.
Kind of have the same scenario with the run flat tires. I hear the run flat tires are really stiff.
Really? Yes. This makes a gravy train with the run flat tires.
Wow. I'm just putting in a few pounds at a time, I see. You can hear it. So if somebody's not in this area, they can't come to you. What should they do to ask to get this kind of work done? What should they ask a shop?
Here's a good question. Do you have a rim clamp tire machine? If they say yes, then you keep looking.
Got it. Do they have a rim clamp tire machine? Keep looking. Got it. Beautiful. Look at these things. I cannot wait. I'm doing 2 for now because I don't know for a fact.
Do we want to
I don't know for a fact they'll fit on the car. Now, this balancing machine, other than the computerized screen, doesn't look terribly different from what I remember. This part, oh God, what do you, okay, that's right, you're talking about, that looks like a load roller, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is cool.
This is what they call a road force balancer.
Okay.
These units can put up to 1,500 pounds of pressure against the tire.
Wow.
To check the tire and while balancing.
Okay. Now, didn't you tell me that you had a customer that had been to several other places and had some problems?
Yes.
Can you tell that story real quick?
He had a Chevy Silverado truck that was lifted 6 inches and had 35-inch tires on it. And he had 4 or 5 other shops try balancing the wheels and tires assemblies. And they would try different things and the vehicle always shook.
Uh-huh.
So he was in here and we were talking about a repair to his wife's car. And he said, "You think you can stop it from shaking?" And I'm like, "I'm sure we can." So we ended up rebalancing his front 2 tires first just to try. Because those are the worst. Those are the ones you really feel in the steering wheel.
That makes sense.
And it was
Those
on
are
a Friday.
tape weights. Oh, look at that. There's a laser that tells you exactly where to center the tape weight, huh? You can see it there.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So we balanced his tires on a Friday.
Uh-huh.
And he left us a voicemail over the weekend that said he was at like 80 miles an hour on the highway, holding the steering wheel with 2 fingers.
For the first time in...
And the truck had never run that smooth.
So the idea here is this big roller presses against the tire, simulating the deformation and the contact patch of the road while it drives, right? That seems
a
novel to me.
regular tire machine that just spins the tire in the air is almost useless. Do you drive with your tires in the air?
I never
no
thought
weight
of
in the
that.
car.
Wow.
No. You drive with the weight of the car on the tires. So that situation needs simulated to balance properly.
Wow, wow. Now, what is this part doing? Is it telling you where in the rim to put?
We're
How
trying
far?
to pick the
We were-
best place to put weights.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Now that's actually taken. That's quite a bit of weight, isn't it? That's
Yes, it is.
That's
So
what,
calling
couple,
for 450 on the outside.
4.5 ounces.
Yes.
Wow.
Probably because of the tire.
Yeah. So if I got new tires, this would probably eliminate a lot of that, right?
Eliminate a lot of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what I get for being a cheapskate. I don't know if I can get that. Right now, that didn't put the load on it, right?
So then we just balance the tire, and then it tells us that we're good,
Wow.
and we're all finished.
Man, yeah. Oh, look at the difference. That versus that. Huh? Look at this. It's unbelievable. I'll try and get them in the same plane. Look at that. Huh. We'll find out if they fit on the front and or back. All right, they fit. Barely. Okay. Troy, thank you so much.
No problem, sir.
So much.
Our pleasure.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll let you know
Thanks a
about
lot.
the fitment. All right.
Take care.
All right, guys. I had a new alternator in it, converted it to internal regulation. I thought it was running right. Probably put about 50 miles on the car. New battery, 850 cold cranking amp battery. And I thought everything was well until it wouldn't start at the car show. So let me show you what's going on. So the range doubler is on. So that's 10 volts. Right now it's only got about 11 volts right now. 11 and a half volts is what it's reading. So if we take a jumper wire, that black wire there, and he puts it on the positive, now listen for the engine to drag down. And so that wire's on the positive. I have the other end of it, and I'm going to attach it to the battery terminal. I'll show you. I'm going to attach it to here. It powers up the alternator, and listen to the engine. Thank you. So we've got like 13 volts right now. I shut it off for a second, it restarts. The battery is charging. So what I need to do, that red wire that goes to the alternator is not powering it. So I need to see where we're losing 12 volts. I think I found the culprit, broken wire. That is the plug that plugs into the external regulator, which is actually a jumper. I popped the connector out and you can see the wire's corroded. It looks like it just corroded to pieces. Okay, so that's the broken, I tried to open it, but it's just so fragile. Here's the connectors that came with this pigtail end that I put those two connectors in. So you can see it is the same thing. Here's the both sides of it. So I'm going to solder that in.
Hey, look at that. If it's holding. Sure, it's holding. Alright, let's try. And which way? I think it should only plug in. Okay, it only plugs in one way, which is this way.
You at least put one screw in it. All right, should I try it?
I would just turn the ignition on and see if you got voltage now.
But there was voltage before.
No,
No?
that's why I wasn't
Oh,
working.
at up here.
Yeah.
Okay. We need 12 volts to this, right? Hey, okay, I think we're good, right? No, we don't know. We've only got 11 volts. So I'm going to condense this down. This was literally 3 days of me pulling my hair out. So basically what was going on, I traced this red wire from the lug on the output of the alternator, and I traced it throughout the whole wiring harness. It actually goes around the engine, across the firewall, and then it comes over to this junction block. This is the horn relay. They use this lug on the horn relay, you can see on the driver's fender well, is kind of a junction block in 1971. Now, here's where it gets interesting. So, first of all, you can see the black electrical tape that I put around the wiring just the day before is melted. Something's overheating. And I'm losing voltage. The alternator is now working, but not getting enough voltage. So that means there's high resistance somewhere. Now, here's the wiring pulled out of that loom on the driver's fender well. I started to trace, and look what I found. You can see that the yellow crimp connector is not factory, and also this wire is way undersized. Now, if you trace it, what is this ball of electrical tape here? Well, it's covering 2 electrical lugs that are bolted together. Notice the factory wiring with the factory heat shrink on the right with a large gauge wire. And the one that was added in the left is either 12 or 14 gauge. It's too small. Even though they don't look very different, look at the big difference in size of the conductors. So we get extra resistance from this extra length of wire and the fact that it's too small. So here's what I did. This is the wire coming off of the new battery cable. I actually pulled it out of the, that lead connection, drilled a hole out, and I installed a larger 8 gauge wire. I ran that. That's the supply wire you can see here to that junction block to the horn relay on the firewall, on the fender. Now, I also took out that extra wiring so that now the connection is direct. What they did was they had wiring running from that bolted connection all the way into the car to the amp gauge in the car, and then all the way back. So it added in total, you can see here, about 10 extra feet of wiring. That coil of wire on the left, that's all wiring that was too small of a gauge that I pulled out. And once again, notice that red and black crimped piece that actually was starting to overheat and melt. So after I did that, here with the car off, the battery measures 12.08 volts, which is, a low state of charge. And here it is all connected up and neatened. And with it running, boom, now I've got 13.6, 13.7 volts at the battery because the alternator is now receiving clean power. Hey guys, I'm under the car here, and this car keeps surprising me. So there's the gas tank for frame of reference. So I'm going to spin around, look up in the bumper, and you see the bumper mounting bolts. You see the right side, the passenger side, backup lamp. Gas tank fill. Wait a minute, what is this? This is the license plate light. That's why it doesn't have one. Interesting. So I was getting ready to purchase one of these. I didn't want to get pulled over for not having one. So you can see how dingy the lens is. It's got 2 screws. I removed the screws to pop the lens cover off. And it looks like inside the socket and the bracket there are in pretty good shape. So then what I did with the lens is I just took Fast Orange, the hand cleaner, and I scrubbed it with my fingers until it came pretty much clean. I put it back together with a brand new light bulb. It was a 97 bulb, and back bolted in. You can see with I had to find 2 screws, sheet metal screws, and it illuminates beautifully. Got a package in from Fusick Automotive Products. Let's take a look. Ooh, look at that. Oh, catalog. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Is that a 71?
That's the guy that was telling you about. You need to talk to him.
There we go. Whoa. Purdy. There should be another one in there, right? 1, 2.
That's 2 of them.
Oh, that's 2. Oh, they're stacked in each other. Oh, very cool. Oh, look at that. Very nice. Can't wait to get these on. Let's just compare here for a second. So this would be a lower, I don't know, is it an upper or a lower? I don't know how you tell.
The larger ones are the lowers.
Larger ones are the lower. This is a lower because the writing is the only way I really know. But how's that look compared to that? Beautiful, huh? Let's get them in. Stock. Not stock. You guys see a little bit more of the underside of this vehicle. Here's the wheel wells, right? They look great, don't they? And let's try and get a view of the pinch weld. And I've got the camera inside the wheel well here, but look at that. I know it's kind of hard to see, but this is why I bought the car. Passenger side is in. Man, these lug nuts are really difficult to get on. You have to have a special thin down socket to do it. And again, there's the back of the car. Looking forward, they're gonna, even in severe suspension compression, you know, they're gonna tuck up in. You can see. Had to move the exhaust, as I figured. Plenty of clearance around the wheel wells there. I can fit, again, same as the other side, I can fit 2 finger widths all the way around. And again, this is an 18-inch diameter by 9.5-inch wide rim. This tire is 275 40 18 with a 5.75-inch backspace. Backspacing is the distance from this mounting surface to the inside of the rim. The other guy was 626 Chevelle. He had 6.25-inch back spacing with either 305 or 315. Reference his video in the description below, and that's like the maximum you could go. Let's sweep the front. See, look at that. Here's the point of minimum clearance, but it clears. Oh, it's close to the sway bar. Less than a finger's width clearance. That's close. Now there's going to be, I can't fit a finger in there, but it does not touch. That will get bigger though with the sway bar. I'm sorry. That will get bigger though with the new gearbox, because the new gearbox limits the steering travel. Right there. It's tight, but it clears. I'll be darned. So just the brake line. And you can see the brake line there because it's sticking out whenever somebody did the brakes before. So I'm going to try and move that out of the way. Got that pressed up out of the way. It's not ideal, but these are going to get redone very soon anyway. And look at that. Beauteous. I believe they clear. And when the wheel goes up, the left side of that wood is up in the fender well. Yeah, it's gonna be fine even when the suspension compresses. I think we're in really good shape here. Let's get the steering is now all the way to the other side. And it clears by quite a bit on this side. That brake line is not sticking out. There's lots of clearance on this side. I think you can kind of see just from here. Can you see back in there? Awesome. Yeah, I think we're gonna have no problem at all here. So here are some before and afters. Here's the car as I purchased it. Here is my Photoshop of similar wheels as I was browsing online. And here it is at my first car show in 19 years. One more shot here of before, completely as I purchased it. And my Photoshop renditioning. And there it is. Amazing the difference, isn't it? One more time. Here's before. 3, 2, 1. And there's after. I just love the stance. I love the way the tires fit. I could go a little bit wider on the back. If you look at the back wheels, there's about another 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches outwards the wheels could go. This is in the golden hour here. I got some really beautiful shots. The fronts I don't think really can or should go any wider at all. I have another video that I will post about the fitment and what's the largest wheels and tires that you can fit. It'll be a little more technical and detailed. It won't be a vlog style. It'll be just what's the biggest tire you can fit on a 68 to 72 A-body. Please enjoy these closing shots. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please keep following along to see how this build progresses. Thank you so much, guys. God bless and take care.